What's going on, everybody? This is Coulton Woods, and I want to welcome you to my podcast, Learning from the Experts. So here's the deal. I know how frustrating it is to waste countless hours sifting through wannabe experts who never actually help you in the end. Then to learn years later that there was a real expert who could have helped you 100 times faster than learning it on your own. I have created this podcast to save you time and money while taking you on a journey with me as I learn from real experts who can actually help you grow your business. My name is Coulton Woods, and you're listening to Learning from the Experts. Oh man, I'm so stoked to have you guys on here, and really honestly, I really appreciate you guys being on here, and I really hope to provide some awesome value for you guys and provide some really cool things that I'm learning from actual experts around me. So I created this podcast mainly for entrepreneurs, or I guess you could say business owners as well, which we all know they're entrepreneurs. So, and the reason for that is because I believe that entrepreneurs are actually the key to our success in society. With that being said, I believe that entrepreneurs are actually the most important people in society or in the economy to help make it run. Because if you think about it, if we didn't have entrepreneurs to start businesses and grow them, then we wouldn't have businesses, and without businesses, we wouldn't, things don't work. So, I know you're probably thinking holy cow, I can't believe you just said entrepreneurs, the most important people in society, but I would say, I guess, in the economy, for the economy. So entrepreneurs are definitely very important for the economy, but with that being said as well, those who aren't entrepreneurial minded definitely are just as important, because we know entrepreneurs can take things or create things, but they're not always the best at scaling it or I guess you could say managing it, or just kind of taking care of all the other tasks that need to be taken care of in the business. So so with that being said, if we didn't have entrepreneurs, we wouldn't have jobs, essentially. I guess how's that for the very first podcast? I'm just kind of laying it out there. And anyway, so also with that being said, I think the reason they call it the American dream is because of, the way we're structured and how capitalism works for us. We can definitely do some awesome things, and free market is awesome. It definitely inspires competition and helps it so that we don't just kind of, we're not just kind of lazy about it, but we actually have to be creative and do things better than the next guy, or we won't be around for the next guy. So definitely that's what's great about our society and being able to even be an entrepreneur. But I mean, also with that being said, I really truly believe that if we didn't have entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, we wouldn't have the inventions we have today. Phones would not be where they are at today without creative minds and entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs. With that being said, there's a ton of different areas, ton of different entrepreneurs or creative people that have built many other industries today that are just awesome and have helped us get so much farther into the future with all of these great things that are being created. So my goal on this podcast is to really just help entrepreneurs and those who have a business or are running a business or starting up a business, for them to have the tools to better do business or to better market or better grow their business and be successful. So, I mean, I believe that there are so many tools out there right now and so much information that there's not enough time to consume it all. That's actually one of the things that actually kind of bugs me. I really wish I had more time, or could even just freeze time for a little bit so I could consume more and take the time to actually consume enough for what I may be doing at the time, or a project that I may have. Definitely when growing up, going to school, I was not that way, and I did not consume much, and I didn't read a whole lot of books growing up, which is sad. But now I really wish I would have caught the bug, because once you start realizing how much awesomeness there is out there, you just can't stop, because it's so amazing. So I want to help business owners, entrepreneurs better market, better sell, and also better know of the tools that are available to them, as well as like the experts that are available out there so that they can grow their businesses faster. Because, honestly, I believe so many businesses fail because they don't know how to market, or they just focus on the product and think that the product is going to sell itself, or they didn't realize that there's actually an expert out there that could have helped them. And then obviously they fell because they weren't able to scale or grow or manage their business the way that they should have, and they thought they did. So, there's a bunch of marketing strategies and tools out there nowadays. And if you know where to look, you can find some awesome people that can help you with that. So that's my goal. And obviously, if you're listening to this and you're an entrepreneur, or you own a business, or sell a product, or you want to start selling a product, then you definitely fit in that category of the people that I'm looking for on this podcast. So, it's one thing. I've been around a lot of tools. I've been around a lot of experts. I've seen a lot of strategies. And there's there's just so much out there, and it's becoming more readily available, and so much more out there, and it's ramping up so much faster, and there's so many more tools even just every day that are available. But because I'm kind of like around this, and I'm in this kind of the world of entrepreneurs and marketing, and I see a lot of tools that come available, I want to kind of teach about the things that I'm learning from those experts, or talk about different tools that are becoming available, or that are available and that I've used or am using. And so, I definitely I'm an entrepreneur. I'm in the online marketing area, and we definitely sell a ton of stuff online. So I was actually a bit of an entrepreneur growing up. I don't think I actually realized it until later, but I'd do things like buy boxes of candy bars. I'd have my dad actually ran candy machines at his work, and he'd go pick up just boxes of candy. And I remember one time telling him, "Hey, Dad, can I like, borrow money through you, get a loan, and buy a box of candy bars that I can go sell at like football games and soccer games?" And actually ended up doing that, and would make a little bit of cash that way. It's amazing. I remember being like, "Wow, you can mark these up pretty good for games and stuff." But when I actually really got started into business, and I got more focused onto it, and really focusing on like being an entrepreneur, was right after I was married. It was probably before that, but after I was married, I was like, okay, I really got to get this going. But me and my wife went to school, and she was in school, I was in school, and I was going to school for business management, marketing, which I later changed to a degree in entrepreneurship, a focus of entrepreneurship in the business management degree. And, sorry. So, right after I got married was kind of the time that I got into this, or not got into this, but really got more focused on it. And I was taking a class in college, and we had to come up with a business idea. So, long story short, I ended up breaking breaking my phone, which I hadn't done before that, and I'd owned multiple phones before that, and I just completely demolished the screen on my phone. And I'm a bit of a do-it-yourselfer kind of guy, and I really enjoy puzzles. Anything that anyway, so I was like, hey, I can fix this myself. So I looked it up, got my YouTube education on it, and ordered some parts, and I fixed it myself, and I had a blast doing it. I was like, wow, this is actually really fun. And as I'm trying to figure out what business to do for this class in college, I'm like, oh, hey, this is actually a really good idea. So I started a kind of cell phone repair business on the side. Just honestly, like we were just poor college kids. I had a job already on campus that didn't pay much, and my wife had a job that didn't pay much either, and we weren't taking loans, and so it was definitely very tight on money. I remember plenty of times the account going negative and not having anything to our name pretty much. So yeah, it was definitely tight. And so I'm like, okay, well, I started fixing phones, and what I essentially did, I just ordered the very minimum amount of parts I could that I could start fixing phones with. So I could turn around and take the money that I made and reinvest it. But anyway, so I had just started this, and I remember one Saturday morning, my wife and I are still laying in bed, and we're just talking, and she's like, we really need some groceries. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And she's like, well, we have like $10 in our account. I'm like, oh yeah, we can't really buy groceries with $10 in our account. She's like, yeah, man, I don't know what to do. Like, we have no money. We really need some food. And as she's saying this, I remember thinking about this phone that I actually had put on eBay. And I remember it was like a little over a couple $100. And I was like, man, if we could just sell that, like we could have a little bit of cash to go actually get some groceries and have some food, So I thought about this, and then she got talking a little bit more, and as we were talking, I remember hearing my phone ding and like the eBay noise that eBay had, like their own little special noise or whatever. And I was like, no way, there's no way this could actually be happening right now. And sure enough, I look over there and the phone had sold, and I was like, what the heck? Like, wow, it like actually sold. So I'm like, I look over at my wife and I'm like, babe, like the phone sold. And she's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, we have money. And I don't think I actually even told her about it. I was like trying to like sell it and surprise her that we had some cash, And so she was super excited. I'm like, we can go get some groceries now. And so I remember that feeling of like before it had sold, I'm like, holy cow, like I'm failing as a man, like this, I need to provide for the family and we have nothing. And I'm trying to like start this business or start doing, my little side hustle and make some money there. And then like the phone sells and we make a little bit of cash. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. After that, I was totally hooked. Like, I mean, when, when you start making money and when in like a split second you sell a phone that makes you more money than like 3 days of working, 4 days, sometimes like a week, you're like, wow, this is just kind of sad. So you're totally hooked after that. And after a while, so I built this business up. I was getting really busy. It was essentially every night I'd have 2 or 3 people every day dropping phones off at my house. And I mean, when we first started, I was in an apartment, and I would literally go meet them in like the main like lobby apartment area and do repairs out there. And I got to know like the apartment lady that ran the place, and she totally didn't even care. So that was cool. But yeah, so I was just running out there, and then we moved into a little townhome, and pretty soon I had people stopping by the house every day dropping phones off. And I'm like, so I got busy, and I ended up Yeah. So I found a buddy. We actually went, we actually were on bowling league together. And no, I'm not very good at bowling, but I love it. So we got talking one night, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I have some cash, and I really like what you're doing. I want to buy into it and see if we can make it bigger, you know?" And I'm like, "Dude, I knew the guy pretty good at this point, and I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. You know, let's split it up. You put some money in, I'll bring my assets and my knowledge, and I'll train you on different things, and we can run it together." And yeah, so we ended up starting a brick and mortar store with fixing phones and tablets, and it was awesome. It was definitely a really good time. And every month we were growing it, getting it bigger and bigger, and getting the word out more and more. And one thing that I started doing is I would actually go to all of the local cellular places like AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, like all of those places. And I'd just walk in. I'd literally just walk in with like 2 cases of pop, like in my hands. Like I have some like Mountain Dew and like Dr. Pepper. And I just walk in and be like, "Hey guys, just want to introduce myself. I'm Coulton Woods. I run the iPhone or the phone and tablet repair business down the street. And, I just wanted to, come bring you guys some treats and stuff, and order you some pizza or something, and get to know you guys a little bit more. And if you happen to have anything that, some people need some help with, like, I'd love it if you send it my way, but no worries if not. And I just wanted to come over and get to know you." And so I literally just would walk into all these stores and just give them pop and different treats, and then buy them pizza every now and then. And I'd go back after a while and take them pop again, and kind of keep the relationship up. And what I didn't realize was I was actually doing what they call a Dream 100 strategy. If you don't know what Dream 100 is, you essentially write down a list of 100 businesses or people that would essentially be able to help your business grow if you were to be able to develop a relationship with them and do business with them. It's a strategy that is used in a lot of businesses nowadays, and helps it. We use it in our business, and it does a ton for us. It's huge. And I had no idea that was even a thing. I didn't even know it was a strategy back then, which is pretty sad, but I was totally doing it. And with that being said, there are so many more strategies out there that I had no idea even existed until now. And there's still more that I don't even know about yet. And I will, be learning in the future still. But the thing is like, if I would have known what I know now back then, I could have done so many more things, and I could have literally like 10x my business, and I could have exploded it so much more than it already, was growing. And so with that being said, the reason I'm doing this podcast mainly is so that I can help you guys know where to go for experts, that like legit experts, and then tools and trainings and courses and different things that can help you actually 10x your business. And one of the things nowadays is there's so many. My favorite is the life coach that's like 23 years old. Like, yeah, dude, you've really been through life. You're 23 and you're a life coach. I don't know. And they're like, "I'm an expert life coach." Yeah, I don't know. And so I want to help you guys actually have a place where you can go to find real experts. And obviously, like, I'm still creating it. I'm still putting it together, and I'll always be adding to it as I go. And I would love it if you had any feedback or any people that you know of that are experts. We'll have a page on there that they can apply to become an expert on my site. And the site is called learningfromtheexperts.com. And so that's definitely, that's essentially where I want to, put everything together so that people can know where to go to find help for their business and find real experts and actual tool or real good tools that are going to help them 10x their business or go farther in their business. There's always new stuff, and I don't know of everything out there right now. I'm definitely around some awesome experts right now as it goes, but I don't know everything out there. I mean, I work with Stephen Larson, and I've actually known him since college, and we did some stuff together in college. It's a whole other story for another time, but I literally get to sit next to Stephen Larson every day and learn from the man himself, which, if you don't know who Stephen Larson is, he sat next to Russell Brunson for 2 years and was his lead funnel builder at ClickFunnels. If you don't know who Russell Brunson is, then you're going to want to check out the site and figure out who he is, because that guy can really help you blow up your business. He's, interestingly enough, his business, ClickFunnels, is devoted to helping people grow their business. And I don't even know how many it is, but I think it's like 200 and something businesses that they've helped create $1 million or more in their business. And so there's well over a couple $100 million businesses that they've helped actually create or grow and sell products online. So if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. But yeah, Russell Brunson is definitely the man. And yeah, so that's essentially the reason I'm creating this. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear reviews or your feedback through reviews. And definitely, I mean, feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas or suggestions. I'm always open to that. So thank you very much for being on this podcast, and I hope to provide some awesome value for you in the future, and I hope you got some value out of this as well. Thank you very much.
Are you looking to jumpstart your business by learning or getting help from the real experts? Go to learningfromtheexperts.com to find pre-approved experts that I've handpicked for you. Please don't forget to let me know how I'm doing by subscribing, rating, and leaving feedback.